excited for this week's video because I'm doing something that I usually just do on Instagram, and I'm kind of taking it with me to YouTube and making it a little more long form. So if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I have done those reading and running recaps over there in like short 15-second videos. So this week's video is going to be a week of training for an ultramarathon and a week of reading in my life. I'm so excited. I ran 6 miles this morning, and then I went down and did like, I think like 15 minutes of upper body strength, and there were a lot of people when I was down there, even though I was there a little bit later. So I didn't film, but that's what I did today, and hopefully I will have some time later to get a good chunk of reading done because y'all, I'm literally obsessed. I started a new book last night and it is so good. I'm 100 pages in and I feel like it is already going to be one of my favorite books from this year because I was straight up cackling as I was reading it last night. Dom was like, what is happening? And it is just so good. So I can't wait to show that to y'all later. Dom and I are going to hang out with some of our friends later tonight, and they also live like a little bit of a ways away. So I don't know how much time I'll have for reading, but I feel like it'll be really fun just to see kind of in like a normal week. We've got, yeah, 2 like hangouts with friends this week, and otherwise it's a pretty like low-key week. I'm trying to think. I'm headed to Fort Worth at the end of the week. So yeah, I feel like it is going to be a pretty like typical week of how much I would usually read, although since I'll be out of town on Saturday, I usually do get a lot of reading done on Saturday, so won't be able to do that this time around. But yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun just to kind of combine 2 of my favorite things for a longer form YouTube video, and I just cannot wait. If you're new here, hello, my name is Molly. I am so happy you are here. YouTube has become just like my little baby in these past few months. I've been having so much fun creating these videos for y'all, and so much fun just getting to share about all the things that I love. As I mentioned, I have an Instagram where I talk primarily about running, like 99% running, and so YouTube has just been really fun for me just to get to share a little bit more about all the other things that I love that's bringing me joy, and just the other things that make me me. And so I'm just so happy you're here. Be sure to subscribe if you are interested in running, reading, life in my 30s, and Disney content. I feel like those are kind of the main things that I talk about on here. So yeah, definitely subscribe if you're interested in any of those things. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a great week of reading and running, and I'm so excited to bring y'all along. Oh my gosh, y'all, it has been a day, so just ignore the hair. I literally like don't even know what is going on, but it is almost 7 and I just wrapped up work, and I made this, it was supposed to be flipped down, literally looks insane, but made some oven baked tacos and am finally gonna get to read some of my book. But before we talk about that, we can talk about last night and my run today. We hung out with some friends last night. It was so much fun, and we left around like 10:30, and we're probably like within 10 minutes of getting back here, and we're on the highway. We like hear this sound and we're like, what is that? And it started kind of like quiet and was getting louder and louder, and it just like kind of sounded like a motorcycle. So I was like, it must be a car around us. And they're literally like, there were cars around us, but not that many, and none that would like make that kind of like is it like revving, just like, you know, the sound like a motorcycle makes when they like speed up really fast, and that. So we heard that, and then all of a sudden we hear like a loud like boom, and Dom's like, oh my god, our tire just blew out, so we have to get over really fast. We've never had a flat tire in this car, which I've had this car since 2016, and then we decided to keep this car instead of Dom's when we got married in 2020. Never had a flat tire, so it was our first time like even seeing if we had everything back there, which we did, but just like took a minute to figure it all out. So we were out there for a while, got to bed finally around like midnight, and everything with our car ended up fine. Like nothing else except for the tire needed to be fixed. Didn't have to tow it because we were able to, when I say we, I mean Dom, we're able to change it there, so it's all fine. But I was just so tired when I woke up this morning, so didn't do the run then, and honestly wasn't even sure if I was gonna run at all, but ended up having a good like break around lunchtime and just did 6 miles on the treadmill. It was a lot better than the 6 I had this past weekend, if you watched my treadmill long run vlog. But yeah, I got 6 done, and now I'm finally gonna get to read. So it has just been a very long day. I'm like pretty exhausted, both like mentally and just like I didn't get that much sleep last night. I think I got like 6.5 hours of sleep, so just feel pretty tired too. So honestly don't know if I'm really gonna even read that much just because I'm tired, but I have genuinely been obsessed with this book. I started it, today's Tuesday, I started it on Sunday, and I'm 100 pages in. I read 100 pages the first night. Literally was cackling because it is so freaking funny, and it's been a minute since I have read a rom-com, so I am just like eating it up. But essentially our main character, Delphi, dies, and she finds herself in the afterlife. She's like 27, hasn't had relationships, like didn't have really good relationships with like friends and parents, and the like lady in the afterlife finds out that she hasn't had sex and is like, oh my gosh, what? Like, that's not what I was like when I was down there, like all this stuff. And then all of a sudden this like guy appears, and Delphi starts to talk with him, and then all of a sudden the lady's like, oh wait, no, he's not supposed to be here, like you're not dead yet, that's a mess up. But Delphi and this guy had like the best chemistry. Essentially Delphi is then like, oh my gosh, were there people like this out there, like down on earth, and I never interacted with them? Like, this guy felt like my soulmate. And so the girl is like, you know what, this will be fun for me. I will give you 10 days to go back to London, where you're from, where you live, where y'all both are from, see if you can find him, and I'll give you a challenge. Like, if in 10 days all these things can happen, then you get to stay alive, and if not, then you come back to the afterlife. So essentially she has 10 days to find this guy that she felt like was her soulmate in the afterlife, and literally doesn't know his full name, doesn't know where in London he lives. So it is so much fun. Like I said, I was laughing out loud. Like, it is literally so funny. She is such like a funny, she's such a funny writer, and it's such a funny perspective, but also like the character Delphi is just really funny too. So I'm so excited to read this and highly recommend it. Good morning. I am a little over a mile into my run, and I've got some hill work today, so that should be fun. It's been a long time since I have done a hill workout. I went on hills to South Congress a couple weeks ago on my run, and it was rough, so it is time to get back to the hills. I slept a lot better last night. I got like 7.5 hours of sleep, so I am feeling way better today than I did yesterday. I did such a terrible job of vlogging yesterday. My Wednesdays always end up being so hectic. I didn't even get to sit down and like start work until way later in the afternoon, just because I had like appointments. Wednesday is my day I go to therapy, and there was just like a lot back to back to back. So yesterday was really hectic, and yeah, I'm so sorry I didn't like update y'all or chat about anything with you guys, but I did the 6-mile run and hill workout and all of that, and then ended up getting to bed fairly late just because we were working and whatnot. But I was like, I want to read so badly, so I read probably about like 30 more pages. I'm still reading Love of My Afterlife, and I love it so much. Like, I love it so much more than I expected to. I really just felt like I had seen a couple people grabbing it, mostly because this cover is like so fun and the colors are just amazing, but I felt like I never heard anyone like recap it or share what they thought, and so then that just like kind of led me to assume maybe it's not spectacular because I didn't hear anyone's like final thoughts or reviews, but also I'm like, maybe I just like entirely missed them. I have no idea, but all that to say, I think my expectations were just kind of low for whatever reason, and I'm obsessed. I'm loving this so much. I mentioned there's a fake dating trope, which I didn't realize was in it, and it is just so funny. I'm a little over halfway now, and you know, she's connected with the guy that she was supposed to. I don't think that's a spoiler, but like, she's finally found him, and it's just like not going how she expected it to. So it is still laugh out loud funny and just overall so enjoyable. I love the main character Delphi so much. So I think I'm gonna read a little bit this morning. I just dropped Dom off at work, so it's a little after 7. So because I have my long run tomorrow, because I'm out of town on Saturday, I'm thinking today I'll take a rest day. I actually haven't checked my schedule to see what my coach has for me. She probably has either cross training or rest day, in which case I'm taking the rest day. So I'm just gonna take this as a rest day, and I really want to finish this book today because I really want to make sure I read at least one other book in this video and just like one other video. I feel like I've been going at a very slow pace this week just because we've had so much going on this week. But yeah, I'm actually gonna read this morning, which is something I honestly usually don't do, so I feel like it's gonna be kind of a fun way to start the day. And then afterwards I'll check my running schedule and see if I need to get a run in, but I am just assuming that because I have my long run tomorrow, I have 14 miles tomorrow, that today is supposed to be rest day. I think I'm gonna make a little cozy drink and get to reading. Fathom getting to work after finishing that book, so I'm going on just a short little walk to kind of try and reset and refocus so I can actually get a lot of things done today, because I have a lot of things I need to get done. But I finished the book and oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. 5-star read for me for sure, and that was just so unexpected. It was so unexpected that I loved it so much. It made me cry, it made me laugh out loud. That was one of the things I loved the most. And overall, the characters just had so much more depth than I expected. The plot itself was so good. It was so fun. So if you are looking for a rom-com book, I cannot recommend it enough. I think I'm just gonna do like a mile walk. It feels really good out here, but like I mentioned, I have 14 miles tomorrow and need to start mentally preparing for that so we don't have a repeat of last weekend, because I really need a good run under my belt. So yeah, I probably won't do too much for the rest of the day. Don't have anything tonight either, so I can probably start a new book too. I just got done with my long run. I ran 14 miles this morning. If you are interested in how, just all the details of that run, I've got a full vlog that I posted on Monday, and I will link it here in case you're interested in that. But it went so well. The weekend prior, when I had tried to do 14, it was just such a disaster. And I said disaster so weird. I said disaster, but it was just so bad. I got so in my head, and so I was really nervous for this run, and truly it went so well. Like I said, you can go watch the full vlog if you were interested in that. I don't want to chat about it too much since there is that, but I just made my breakfast, so I'm gonna sit down and eat this and then get to work. Sometimes it's a little difficult doing long runs on Fridays, but honestly, I also kind of prefer it to Saturdays, which I know I've mentioned this, but since I'm training for an ultra, the back-to-back long runs, I mean, I'm when are they coming? When are they coming for me? I have a feeling it's probably November, because then that'll give me 12 full weeks to train for the 100-miler, and then a week-ish, I think, to taper, or 2 weeks of taper. The 100-miler is at the beginning of February. So anyways, I have a feeling the back-to-back long runs are coming, and so when I was training for my 50-miler, when I did that, I would do them Friday, Saturday instead of Saturday, Sunday. So kind of nice to start to get back into the long runs on Fridays anyways. It is difficult to get yourself to work right after. That's the only thing, and I woke up at 4:30 in order to get it done before work. I was finished by 8:30, so now I've just had time to kind of take my time showering and making breakfast, so I wasn't mad dashing to work or anything. But yeah, that's kind of how the run went. Gonna work for a full day, and then like I mentioned, I'm out of town tomorrow, but definitely want to get some good reading in tonight. I will chat about it later, but I did start a new book last night after I had finished The Love of My Afterlife in the morning. Still so good, can't stop thinking about it, and I'm not loving the new one that I started, but we'll chat about that later. I made it through the workday. I'm definitely getting tired. I really think though that eating enough, both throughout this week and even after the run, sometimes I just did after the run, that was weird, but after my run sometimes I really don't have an appetite, so I don't eat very much. but it is something I am really focusing on just because I felt such a tremendous difference during my 14 miler this morning. So have eaten really great like protein packed meals and have had so much more energy than I usually would on a long run day. Like I was actually able to work the entire day. It's like right before 5 right now, and I got everything done that I needed to. I actually had like a very productive day. So now I'm feeling pretty tired, but I think that's just like the combination of the run and like focusing all day. So I am about to finally read a little bit. I mentioned that I started one last night and I don't love it. I'm a little bit bummed. But I started the Titanic Survivors book club. If you watched my cozy fall like bookish video, then you saw that I saw this video at the bookstore and was like so intrigued, and then I looked up reviews and just didn't have the best of reviews. So I was like, I'll try and look for it at the library then, because I don't really want to buy this book if there's a chance I won't like it, just because I usually buy books where I like feel very confident that I'm gonna like them. And the library ended up having it, which was so excited. I'm so happy I have a library card, and I'm only 30 pages in and I'm already like, I don't know. So I think I'm going to try, maybe make it to page like 75, 100, see if it changes for me. And honestly, if I'm still not liking it around that, I'll probably go ahead and DNF it. I'm trying to think of all the books that I've DNF'd this year, maybe like one or two, and they were both fantasy, which just like isn't my genre. I really don't DNF that much just because I do pick books where I feel pretty confident knowing that I'm going to like them. So this was definitely one that I was a little unsure of, just because I feel like looking at the reviews, it was like a low 3-star, and usually books that I read are closer to like 3.8 and above, and then I just like know the plot is going to be something that I love. So yeah, I'm not like 100% convinced on this one yet, but essentially in this book there's a group of Titanic survivors, and it's actually people who didn't actually end up boarding the ship. It's a secret society. Like the guy ends up getting like a note in the mail after he's like seeing his name on all of the like lists of people who died during Titanic, just because no one realized that he didn't board it, and so people think he died because they hadn't heard from him. So yeah, it's just like the secret society of people who survived it, and I think there's like a messy love triangle. I love that it said in like the description of it, like him surviving it encouraged him to go and pursue his dreams to open up a bookstore, which just sounds so lovely and cozy. So yeah, so far I'm not like enamored with any of the characters. I'm literally only like 30 pages in, so I'm hoping that we get some more like plot development. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this one. Low-key making me fall asleep. It is putting me to sleep. It is pretty boring. I'm like slightly invested, like I kind of want to know what ends up happening with the love triangle situation, but I feel like I just don't feel connected to it at all. And I really love the Titanic. I really love learning about the Titanic. Obviously I love the Titanic movie, so that's why I thought it would be really interesting, but I just feel like it's really boring. And honestly, that's kind of what I saw in reviews too. It's just like it just really fell flat, and that's how I feel. So I've only got like 200 more pages in it, and kind of doing like a skimming reading combo. Like I'm definitely not reading everything, but I think I'm just gonna finish it because I am like slightly invested. I don't want to completely DNF it, but I don't want to be reading this tomorrow. Hello, I just got back from Fort Worth like 30 minutes ago. I've been laying in bed because I am so tired. I am so exhausted. I left around like 7:30 this morning, got there at 10. It was celebrating my nephew's first birthday. It was literally the cutest ever. It was so much fun. And then ended up leaving around like 3:30. So I'm pretty exhausted. It's a very easy drive, the like Fort Worth to Austin route, or even to Dallas too. Super easy, but I'm still just pooped from pretty much being in the car all day and then like being around a bunch of people. And yeah, tired from my run yesterday. I'm pretty sore. I don't have anything for my run today. But since I did my run yesterday instead of today, I'll have one more run tomorrow, which I haven't done a run on a Sunday in forever. So I think that'll be really fun. But you guys, this book, I am struggling. I have really just been contemplating DNFing it. Obviously, I'm to the point where I'm like not gonna do that anymore because I am so far, but I have not enjoyed it. I will probably rate it 2 stars. There are some things that I'm enjoying, and that's why I decided to keep going and not DNF it. Also because I knew I could finish it pretty fast, so I was like, okay, I might as well just read it. Like literally all the books I've read this year are like 3.5 stars or above, so I was like, I can't have loved every single thing that I read this year. Maybe I can, I don't know. But yeah, I think I was just hoping for like more depth in the characters, more of like, and not that there's not a wrestle that like they were supposed to be on the Titanic, but I don't know, I think I was just expecting a lot more from it. I still had like kind of low expectations just because the other ratings I had seen, but honestly it has definitely just fallen a little flat. I'm not really enjoying like the love triangle. Haven't really like felt the emotions from any of the characters, I guess, is a lot of my issue. And honestly, it's just kind of boring. It's kind of boring and it's kind of annoying. So I think I'm going to try and finish this before I go and pick Dom up from work. And then honestly, I probably won't read anymore tonight. I'm just so tired. And we started watching, my friend sent me, I hadn't seen it, my friend sent me that like all the rug drama on TikTok that's happening, and so we didn't get to finish catching up on all of the videos this morning before I left, so we are like left hanging, and Dom and I need to finish watching that. And then I feel like people have been talking about some different Netflix show with like Kristen Bell? Kristen Bell? Yeah, Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. I don't know. Did I just like make up those people? Anyways, some cute new show on Netflix. So yeah, I feel like my brain might not be able to handle any more reading, but for now, I am just gonna finish this thing. This book is 100% the kind of book that will keep me up all night. I'm literally like 25 pages in, maybe not even, and I'm already hooked, and I'm like, yep, I need to know what the heck is going on. Essentially, in this book, the dad and daughter haven't talked to each other in 3 years, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, the daughter calls him and lets him know that she is getting married and really wants him there. So it's implied, you know, some things have happened in the past that have led them to not speaking to each other for 3 years. I think from the description of the book, he, you know, meets the fiance and just starts to get these really weird feelings. Maybe he finds something out, I don't know, but essentially he's just like not feeling great about the fiance, and so yeah, just have to figure out like who the guy is and all of this stuff. And right now in the book, he's on his way over to see his daughter for the first time in 3 years and also meet her fiance. And even when he was like talking on the phone to her about it, like he found out that they hadn't known each other very long, like she wouldn't share all the information about his family. So just some weird stuff going on. He definitely has, you know, some things that he is very curious and a little skeptical about. So that's where I'm at now, but it is so good. And like I've mentioned, I really loved his other book, Hidden Pictures. So I'm just so excited to read this. Dom will be back soon, so I don't know if I'm really gonna get too far into it, but honestly, if he is in the mood to read too, I might just like read this book for hours tonight. I cannot believe we are at the end of this week and at the end of the vlog. It is a little after 5 p.m. and I'm just finished getting all my things done for the day. Except later tonight, Dom and I are going to be filming a video for a sponsored post. So I just have like a kind of 2-hour break before I get back to work, and then hopefully we'll be able to have like a chill evening and the filming doesn't take too long. But it's been a pretty busy Sunday, which I expected just because I was gone all day yesterday and didn't get to finish a lot of the things that I normally would have, just kind of preparing for the week. So I'm finally gonna sit down and keep reading this book. I can't remember if I updated y'all yesterday or not, but I'm on page 60 and I'm obsessed. I love it so much. I have been waiting all day just to be able to sit down and read this book. It is so good. If you are looking for a thriller recommendation, obviously I'm not super far in and like don't know how it's going to turn out, but I am just super intrigued and have like no idea what's going to happen. So wedding weekend is coming up pretty soon in the book, and I feel like a lot of stuff is just about to go down. There was like a huge thing that just dropped at the end of this chapter, so I am so eager just to keep reading and figure out what happens. But I'm gonna read for a little bit, and then like I said, later tonight we're working, so I'll probably update y'all in a little bit just after I have finished reading. read 100 more pages in the last one at the wedding, and I love it so much. So far, I'm loving it as much as I loved his other one. But I think I'm gonna wrap up this video here. Dom will be back in about 45 minutes, so I wanna just like pick up and do some things before he gets back and before we need to shoot my other content for tonight. I will definitely be reading more in this book. I'm about like halfway now, I think. I'm not sure how many pages this book is, but definitely getting close to halfway. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I love it so much. I feel like it was a pretty typical week. Like I said, you know, we had a couple things with friends during the week. I went days without reading at all, days where I could only read for like 30 minutes before bed, and that's just kind of how it goes. Usually I would read a chunk, usually like a book on a Saturday, and obviously I wasn't able to do that yesterday, but all in all, I would say it was a pretty typical week of reading with 2.5 books finished. I loved the first one, The Love of My Afterlife, and didn't really love the second one so much, and obviously I'm loving this third one. So all in all, that is a fantastic week. And in regards to the running, I think I ended up running 36 miles this week, which y'all, that is the most I have run in a week in such a long time. It has been so encouraging just to see my little graph on Strava like slowly climbing with my mileage each week. It just feels so like satisfying and yeah, encouraging just to see it going up. So 36 is the most I've run in a while, and it feels really good. I'm feeling really good. I'm really excited for another week of training. I think I've got 14 again next Saturday. I can't remember, and I think I just like am starting to get more speed work in hills being incorporated into the mileage, so I don't think I'm going to be jumping up to 40 miles a week or anything like that. So I'm really excited about my training. I really loved working with my coach, and I'm feeling just so much better, and especially better considering my 14 miler went so great this week. I'm going to end this here, but definitely let me know what you thought of this video below. Like I mentioned, I have done these shorter form versions on Instagram and thought it'd be fun to maybe try it for longer form. So let me know if you enjoyed the combo of reading and running in one video, and I just can't wait to hear your thoughts, and I so appreciate you watching, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos, and I'll see you next time.